What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Here is Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland. Jason, what is up?
Oh, not much, man. Just it's like another week flew by, and
No.
sameness is starting to return. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's getting back to somewhat abnormal for you.
Abnormal or normal?
Abnormal, it's the play on words. Of course, it's normal, abnormal, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting back to the same. I just read earlier today. I think I actually sent you the link that some lady decided to fuck around and find out about the road barriers being up and fell off the interstate. Sadly, passed away after diving down 100 feet. But yeah. Pay attention to those barricades, people. They're there for a reason.
No kidding. And I don't get that. Why people think that, they can just drive through shit like that. And it's preconditioned, it's preconditioned fucking shit at this point. But anyway, before we get into all this crazy stuff, this week's guest, Hatchet. Fucking San Francisco thrash band Hatchet. I know you've seen them before on tour.
Yes.
So yeah, it's pretty cool talking with Julz, talking with a new school thrash band. Because I'm ultimately a big thrash fan, regardless.
Right.
Now when it comes to newer metal, there's the bands like Municipal Waste that come in like the early 2000s and stuff. And this band's been around since about 06.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a lot of these bands like Bonded by Blood, they've kind of went away and then have started doing their own reunion shows. But Hatchet, that's pretty cool that they've always been there.
Yeah. I saw them open for the Ex Mortis was the headliner, and I can't remember who the co-headliner was. It was a European band, but yeah, they were good. I mean, I don't really remember much of them now because that was like 6 or 7 years ago, I guess.
It's been a minute, but and nobody remembers anything pre-COVID. It seems like.
Yeah, it all kinds of blends in. But yeah, I remember it being pretty decent. So yeah, I dug them. I bought one of their vinyls. The new one at the time, I don't even know what it's called now. It's not the newest one, it's the one before that.
Speaking of which, here we are 5 years now from COVID. Since the major outbreak of it, and Metal Forge is soon to be turning over another year anniversary on the actual date this year of January the 3rd of 2025. It'll be the official the first date of the original airing of the first episode, and I kind of want to revisit some things from that era. I kind of want to do some in-person stuff again.
Yeah.
Whether it be in person at venues or whatever, and just filming that. Possibly doing some more in-person stuff. So if anybody out there wants to do that's in the Louisville area or within a couple hour drive, Indianapolis, Chicago, Evansville, Cincinnati, Nashville, places like that, I mean, hit me up for sure. Jason, that'd be cool, don't you think?
Yeah, in person just has a different vibe to it, obviously, but as far as convenience goes, I think it's better than remote.
Sure.
Also,
I mean, I dig it. Don't get me wrong. I dig the remote stuff, like with Zoom and everything. But I dig the in-person stuff too. So I think in 2025 we're gonna start looking into doing some more stuff with the show, and we're gonna start because back in August, everything that has been exclusive video. So There have not been, all the audio that you hear on the show is strictly, it actually comes from the video source that you can watch on YouTube and Spotify. So if you listen on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you're, if you subscribe to the YouTube page, you'll actually get to see these in video form. It's like you can see my ugly face and Jason's, gray beard as well.
Yeah, man. It's like I get older every time I get on this thing. Like, damn.
I know. That's the way it is. But we're road warriors. That's what happens. We get older and everything else is the same. The metal's the same, and that's where I was kind of going with this a minute ago. Is listening to metal these days. I noticed that I have definitely fallen more into the trad metal and doom metal vibe again, versus the thrash and everything. I've been wanting to play more, more doom related music as a personal preference, stuff that's slower and heavier and as heavy as it gets.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were...
you do this to me all the time. You're like, you think I froze or something. No, I mean, have you hit that yet? Do you want to just play like doomier stuff?
Dude, I go through so many damn phases. Like, it really depends on what I'm listening to that week, what I'm into. I mean, honestly, that's really where I'm at. Like, it's just kind of whatever hits me at the time. Like I've actually been into like an 80s rock mood lately. I don't know why. Just,
like Quiet Riot or Poison.
No. I would be like Rat, early Crew, like first two album Crew, stuff like that. Maybe some Def Leppard's kind of like late 70s. Two-arm Def Leppard, or 10-arm Def Leppard, I should say.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know, like just stuff like that. I don't know. It's like early GNR, shit like that. That's kind of where I'm at lately. But next week, Opeth comes out. I'll probably be into like Death Prog. So who the fuck knows?
And that's the thing, is there's so much out there. And coming up here probably at the beginning of the new year, I'm gonna have a tech death band on, and it's really cool because it's like, they're not something that I, really go out of my way to listen to.
Yeah.
But finding those gems in the whole genre of anything is where it's at. Which brings me to my next thing is, here it is. It's almost, it's middle of November now. We're soon to be on getting the Spotify Wrapped at the end of the month.
Oh, have we got it already? Huh? I thought it started coming out already.
No, it comes at the end of November. So, in form, we are waiting to the last episode of the year to do our top 5 albums. Again, I'm going to try to have Aaron Assant on the show. Jason, I want you there as well for the last episode of the year, where we're going to talk about our top 5 albums, EP, our top 5 releases of the year.
Okay.
Which, I've already got a few that I've been putting out on the Facebooks and stuff like that.
So when you say releases, does like video content count?
I mean, I would say audio content, but if they're, I mean, why? Do you have a favorite video release of the year?
I'll throw it out there when time comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, but is it music related or is it actually
of course it is.
I mean, because it could be film related, I guess. I mean,
no, it's musical.
What's your favorite thing of the year? My favorite one of the year, I think, was the new Masters of the Universe series. No,
it's like music video related, like a Blu-ray.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh wait, is this the Blind Guardian thing?
You want to say because we're gonna now I can't bring it up, but yeah, it is.
Dude, that's awesome though, and that's why I did bring it up, because hey, anytime you get like band DVDs or band Blu-rays, I mean that shit kicks ass. I love watching live performance, even if it is, and like I really like. So, for example, the older performance videos that are on like that are like, say like Binge and Purge. Okay, you take two classic era concerts, and there's actually somebody who on YouTube has uploaded them and remastered them in 4K,
Right.
and high def, and remastered the audio as well, and they look so good. And like, especially on the Seattle show with Lady Justice falling down, spoiler alert, 40 years later, it's just so fucking cool to watch. And I love, like, that's what I love about like the Through the Never movie and shit like that too, is because they do the Justice stage show with it, and it's a new version. And yeah, so like watching live band shows is pretty cool. I'd say, do you have a favorite one?
Like favorite like live show?
Yeah, like out of all of the DVDs and Blu-rays that you own, do you have one that you go back to and watch that's like your favorite?
I haven't really watched any old ones in a while. I've watched the Blind Guardian. It took me a few nights to get through the Blind Guardian one, just because like time.
While you're thinking, I will go ahead and
I'll have to come back to you on that one. I don't really know.
While you're thinking about it, let me go ahead and
Purge ones are.
The one that I constantly go back to, other than, like I said, like the two Binge and Purge shows, there's another Metallica one it's called Pride, Passion, and Glory, and it's from Mexico City.
I have that.
And yeah, it's the red and white case. That show in particular is so cool. Yeah. It's just really cool. But the one I constantly go back to is Stage Fright from Motorhead. And it takes place on the Inferno tour. Right. And I just, they were so on fire in that era, with the new classic lineup, the new Coke lineup of Motorhead with Phil Campbell and Mickey D. They had been there since the mid '90s, and yeah, now that was just such a great DVD. And yeah, so I totally dig it. That's one that I can constantly go back to.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite.
Probably another thing that I not on live DVDs, but I constantly go back to the album creation DVD sets that I have too. Like the classic albums, Ace of Spades, or the Bat Out of Hell, or British Steel is another good one that I constantly go back to.
I would say if I had to pick one right now, the best one I have is probably AC/DC Live at River Plate. That's pretty historical.
That's I was thinking about that. And the one that I was actually going to pick that is on my list, but it's edged out by the ones, is No Bull. No Bull is such a good one. And I mean, the inflatables alone with an AC/DC show are just great.
Maybe you get like the fucking Maiden ones too. Damn, now I might change my mind because I have quite a few Maiden ones. I don't know, man. There's just so many. If I'm digging into time, it's my pick.
The early years DVD is really good still. The one that takes place that's like 87 and 88 or whatever, and it's the is it the Made in Japan tour? Or is it
Made in Japan was a live album with Diano.
Yeah, but what was didn't they do a tour based on that also?
Man, I don't know.
They did Made in England, and then they did the Made in England 2013, which is the first time I saw them live, actually, with Mega Dork. And dude, and I will call them Mega Dork on this because they actually had LED boards on either side of the drum kit. And the drum kit is already freakishly above the rest of the band.
Yeah.
Like, the kick drums are at head level. And I never get that. I never get it, personally. To be that high up,
King Diamond puts his way up there too, man.
Yeah, I know. And I still for King Diamond, he's overhead level for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different thing. That's a different animal. But like when the kick drum is like right there at your ear and shit, it's like, no, I couldn't do that. But I've played places with a 4-foot or 5-foot riser before, and it's fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. But I love bands that like King Diamond. But his is for the show, I guess. But the LED boards, when they put on the fake Marshall amps on the LED boards, and instead of the Marshall logo, it was Megadeth written in the Marshall font, the Marshall cursive. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, so I kind of lost it for Megadeth at that point. And plus, that was also when they were touring Super Collider.
That wasn't?
Yes. 2013, man.
Yeah, I've never listened to that album all the way through.
Yeah, it's garbage.
What's worse, that and Risk?
So much fucking garbage.
But what's worse, Super Collider or Risk? Would you say?
Super Collider.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Collider without a doubt. Only because it's just not good. I mean, there's not even a good song on the album.
That was like a commercial sellout attempt, wasn't it?
Maybe, I guess.
But so bad, Marshall didn't even want it.
Yeah, I don't even think so. I think Columbia was just like, what the fuck? It's like, we need to send you back to Island or whoever the fuck, or Mega Force.
It took me a long time after Risk to get back into Megadeth. Like, I don't think I really got to a Megadeth album after Risk until like maybe Head Crusher. Like the first song I heard from him that was like, okay, this is like pretty passable.
Well,
but yeah, there was a lot of stuff in the
2000s
2000s I don't even know.
The Millennium era for Megadeth is just like, to me, it's way overly political.
Yeah.
Because you've got The System Has Failed, United Abominations,
Yeah. I mean, I used to be like, oh yeah, only the Freeman Menza lineup will do. So like, I used to give Cryptic Writings a pass. Now I listened to it like a while ago. I'm like, man, this album kind of sucks.
Yeah,
like, there's some good songs, but it's not great. Like, because it has like the best lineup in it. It's like you give it a pass, but yeah, listening back, like, it's not.
To be fair, I will, and I'm not a huge Megadeth fan, but I will give them their credit all the way up until Cryptic Writings.
Mm-hmm.
There's something on every album that is really good, and obviously there are some bangers in there that the whole album is, especially, Rust, or, Peace Sells is a banger of an album.
Mm-hmm.
But you Countdown is pretty much is more than half of the album is a banger.
Yeah.
It doesn't start to peter out until you get till about the 8th song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. And then, Euthanasia is kind of the same way. You have more hit or miss tracks on it. But then, you get the goofy shit that they release too, like the cover shit, like Hidden Treasures.
Yeah.
Which I do like that as well. So
yeah, that Bill and Ted.
I think I want to do a Hidden Treasures of my personal life like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick about 6 or 8 cover songs and release them.
Yeah, that Bill and Ted soundtrack was pretty rocking. And so is The Last Action Hero. Angry Again. That one's good too.
I like 99 Ways to Die.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead Experience. Yeah, I used to have that.
Yeah, from the Experience soundtrack. Yeah. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to be in kickboxing and karate.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a kickboxing match, and that was my intro, was 99 Ways to Die.
Nice.
Yep. So it was like totally cool shit, man. But we've been yammering here for a minute, and Hatchet actually has a new EP coming out. By the time we recorded this, I believe it came out on October the 25th.
Okay.
So day late, dollar short, but here it is anyway. We're gonna play Leave No Soul from this fucking EP. So here you go. Fucking Hatchet, thrash from the fucking Bay, Leave No Soul. Jason, kick ass, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, metalheads, we are being joined this week from Julz with the band Hatchet. Dude, what is going on?
Not a whole lot, man. Hanging out here with you for right now, and my dog over here in the corner, off screen. Otherwise, just chilling, man.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So, Austin hit me up and I was just like, dude, like, hell yeah. We haven't had a good thrash band on for a while. We've had a lot of it seems like Austin promotes a lot of black metal bands. Almost all of his emails I get, they're like almost all black metal, and it's like, come on, man, throw me a bone here. Throw me somebody fucking speed, man. Throw me some speed and heavy.
Yeah.
So finally he did, and here we are with you guys in Hatchet. What the fuck is up? How are things? How's 2024 treating you?
Uh, I guess so far so good personally. I'm, doing a lot more of I guess just me and adulting these days than the band per se. But so far so good. I'm still, you know, listening to music and rocking out and all that shit. So good, I guess you could say.
Well, definitely. Well, you're still putting out material, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
The EP, I mean, we did, it's been a process, unfortunately, of over year and a half, couple years of putting it together, not necessarily recording, but that from doing that, it's sitting a little bit to finishing it, polishing it, kind of, the do it yourself at home, take your, sweet time approach, unfortunately, kind of thing, which is the thing nowadays. But otherwise, it's, it came together and it's good that it's, going to be coming out finally this year. So we're happy about that.
well, sure. And that's the thing these days is we as musicians, especially the metal musicians, we've all had this idea to where and this big revolution in our home recording where we've been able to get, Focusrite rigs instead of doing the old school cassette deck shit
Hmm.
that now it's almost as if we don't have to go to a legit studio. We can demo at home. Uh we can send out to have things mixed and mastered and do the recording ourselves, and I think that's awesome.
Hmm.
With the DIY aspect of what you were talking about a minute ago, where getting things together for a new EP took a couple of years. Yes, that is a big thing these days. And I know personally the last single my band put out, it was a 4 year in the making kind of thing because it was just again people getting hurt, adulting, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah,
it
for
when it
sure.
comes to putting together an EP or an album, how do you decide what you want to go with? Okay, so say it's the last full length was what, 2018, 2019
Mhm.
ish, somewhere in there, and
Yeah.
it's like, are we gonna try and put out another full length? How do you decide?
Well, right now I'm, the EP's, what, like three and a half weeks or so, 3 weeks from coming out. We'll definitely see how that goes. I'm not putting any pressure on myself to do anything further or like another, full length, at least not anytime soon. I definitely want to just see where this goes, take my time to breathe with it a little. Because definitely in the past we've put ourselves under a little bit more pressure to, kind of do the typical album cycle and tour and do a bunch of shows and multiple tours and stuff like that for each one and just trying to really do it proper that way. And this one I just kind of want to just put it out and just see kind of what happens. And really that's it for now. I mean, I'm definitely always going to be writing and wanting to put stuff together in my mind or write stuff, but I'm not at this moment. I don't have a
Yeah, you're
push
not
for that thing.
actively putting stuff together for something new.
Yeah, not at this moment, but who knows? That can always change. It's I guess a
Sure.
musician
Especially
curse
being
or
being
something like that.
being an independent musician, yeah, that's one of those things where I think we all struggle with the idea and the notion of like, should I do this? Should I not? No, I'm not gonna do it. Well, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways.
Yeah, so you know how it is. Things are always changing in your mind, but at this particular time, and I've kind of been sitting on that thought for a bit that I just want to let this batch of songs go out, and we took some time recording it and polishing it, and I just want to see what the reception is and just kind of go from there, really, and just have it be out.
Well, and I think EPs are kind of the way to go at this point.
Yeah,
EPs slash two, maybe 2 to 3 songs even,
sure,
at a certain point in time, because we're in such a fast-paced market anymore where bands are constantly releasing things, and the influx of bands that you can run into off of the internet, where you just have so many outlets
sure.
to find awesome new music, whether it be traditional heavy metal, whether it be thrash, whether it be black metal, like we were talking about earlier.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, with that, the album cycle, as you slated and said earlier, isn't necessarily a thing anymore. Yeah, for other people, for the Taylor Swifts of the world, I think it still might be, because that's every fucking week anymore. But yeah, I totally get that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think there's something special about EPs, that it's in this day and age when so many people that have take, Metallica, for example, who pack on 80 minutes of music or more, like Iron Maiden for that matter, to pack in 80 minutes of music and more into albums. Yeah, I get that, but there's something, I don't know, there's something daunting about having to listen to that much to hear an album.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's necessarily a thing where if you feel the same way, like as a musician writing it.
Uh, Definitely. Yeah. Especially in the past, because like I mentioned, before, there's kind of a push to have, or at least in my mind at the time, and in most people's mind, to have a full length of albums, material. But most of the time, when you think of a full album, and there, in my mind, there's few exceptions, but generally there's at least, 2 to 3 filler songs, maybe more, and the rest of an album, in any given album, not metal or whatever, but
Sure,
could be really good or listenable or memorable, and the rest is kind of, and I mean, maybe not every release we've done, but there's been a couple where I've definitely felt myself reaching and forcing to finish a song or two for the sake of trying to finish a song or two,
for
uh,
sure.
and make it different, also, and not, kind of differentiate what's going on within the scope of an album. Um, I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah,
Maybe I
yeah,
kind of got
you
off on a
do.
tangent.
Yeah, and feeding into what you were just talking about, being a musician myself, I sometimes love the fact of getting to a song on an album and just being like, especially being a writer of it, and being like, yeah, that's probably never going to be played live.
Yeah, I've definitely had a couple songs like that where I've felt that while writing it, while recording it, and it's definitely followed true. And then there's others where absolutely where it's completely changed, and where I'm like, that one actually ended up being like a favorite of mine to play live, or even a crowd favorite, or just an energetic back and forth with the crowd where you can kind of play with the song a little. There's a couple like that where maybe you're not so fast or intricate between the vocals and singing, and there's room to breathe with it, and they actually become live favorites or songs I wouldn't have thought. So there's, again, the musician thing of, you can say one thing or think one thing, and then it just ends up being something else. So
For sure, for
yeah.
sure. So, as we were talking about, the EP called Leave No Soul comes out on October the 25th.
Yep.
Super awesome release in the spooky season. We love it around here. Um, 5 fucking killer tracks. We've got a couple of covers on there as well. You've got a Wasp cover and an Annihilator cover.
Yeah.
And not Annihilator from Texas, Annihilator from Canada. No, see, that's a thing. It's no, it's a whole thing. You know, so three new songs. Yeah, so tell me about the recording process of it. You said it was a couple of years,
Mhm.
and you took your time taking great care of the songs, polishing, doing what you needed to do. Um, so are covers a normal thing for you all to put out on things, or is this like a first or what?
It's not a first. It's definitely not something I've really been it's not something that I've strived to do over the years. Like a lot of bands like to do a lot of covers, and we've
Sure.
really never played covers live either, or just really jammed with things like that. Um, It started actually on the last full album with we did World in a World with Violence, because at that point they were never coming back together still at 2018, and that was kind of my motivation for doing that at that point. Was like they're never gonna, and then a year later here we start hearing about the reunions and stuff, which is it's just great, and it's a whole nother thing, but at that
And now
moment
they've
that's why I
got
decided
Nick
that.
Souza playing drums.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's interesting. Kind of full circle, another, well, Violence is Bay Area, but also, another Bay Area band, Hatred, just the whole
Oh yeah,
incestuous nature of that, in a good way. But yeah,
which I totally love, by the way.
yeah,
Which I love the fact that that was a passion project started from Zetro and his two sons,
yeah, yeah.
and
They're
then
going
and
on
then
their own
he
and doing their own
retired
thing.
from the band to go back to Exodus, and now the band is theirs.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think and that's cool. There's something like sweetheart about that, I think. It's like dad looking out for the young ones.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting too is, kind of since he left, they've definitely kind of took it in their own direction, but still with the same vein. So it's like, I don't know,
Sure.
it seems organic in a good way. Like it's like their own thing. It's not forced. So that's
Sure.
kind of cool.
And I think that's what every band has to realize is your own thing that you don't force.
Yeah.
And because there's still bands out there that you can hear that still, they strive for a certain sound, and whether it be where they are versus it's like, man, don't force it, because once it's forced, that's when your people see through it, and
Sure.
it just comes out a mess almost. There's all
Yeah.
bands I think that we all deal with, that we all listen to, that are that way. I mean, in some bands, I'm sure that there's bands out there that we play in that are that way even. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I always try to look forward to, is the writing process, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I hate fighting during playing music, because yeah, we all have our opinions and we all get to each other, but we're all trying to achieve the same goal, and that's metal the fuck out, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So what does the rest of 2024 have in store for you all?
Um, for the band, probably not a lot, man, other than releasing and I don't know, maybe a video or something, like a music video or something like that, but I don't know. Probably that might even be made more into like into next year at this point, if we decide to do that with another single from the EP. But yeah, at this point, everybody's just kind of spread out. We don't really all live that close together, and that kind of makes
Sure.
it a little more difficult to get together, even for just a show or two. So yeah, it's really just releasing the EP at this point, and then we'll see.
That is a great a great point that you brought up here, with living apart from each other. And like I said a minute ago, with getting the focus rights and being able to do this at home and everything, and the internet, being able to connect with so many different people that you could have work on your stuff.
Sure.
Whether reaching out to people that, say Tim Ripper Owens, for example, he's readily available. He will record vocals for your track. He's pretty cool about it. But he's easy to reach, and
Mhm.
that's cool that that there's so many awesome musicians out there that are easy to reach, and that you guys not living in the same area really, it speaks to the movement of what I say. I despise the term local band at this point
Hmm.
in the metal culture, because I say the metal culture, but I'm sure there's country artists that do this too, and any other musicians that do this. You can probably be in a ska band or whatever, but
Mhm.
where you don't live near each other, but you all work towards the same goal to release, say, an EP, a full length, that you all, write and record and intermingle each other's parts still as a band.
Sure.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
it shows a lot of things. It shows a lot of drive for people, and I think it really, a lot of times it outlies a lot of people's professionality with still being able to put out something in a timely manner that you're not forgotten about,
mm, yeah.
because as we said earlier, in this day and age, it's so easy to forget about people
Yeah.
because there's so much content coming at you left and right and
Yeah.
center.
Attention spans are like super short.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the TikTok videos, it's the minute to 3 minute attention span. It's
Yeah.
long form podcasts and stuff are, you really gotta be into it. Like right now, we're about 20 minutes into this, and people are probably like, man, are they gonna get to a point? No.
Oh, is
So
it actually live somewhere? I didn't even know.
oh no, no, this
Oh,
isn't
okay.
live though. We're
Oh,
totally
just
recording
okay.
this. But no, I'm just saying, as people are just like, hey man, are they gonna get to a point
Yeah,
at
yeah. We're
this?
just
And
kind of just
but it's
shooting the
cool
breeze.
because we talk, and you know, how's you all are in California, right?
Yeah.
How is West Coast in the show scene these days? Because I haven't been out there for about a year and a half now.
It's actually really healthy. As far as metal goes. You know, there's quite a bit of shows and unfortunately I don't get to make it out too much to many actual metal shows because I'm a sound engineer for a living, so I'm also doing mixing other bands and stuff locally for a living when I'm not doing going to shows. So it's also kind of like when I'm not working, that's kind of also the last place I want to be. But
Sure.
there are also certain bands I really do want to still see. But what's cool to see, to answer your question, is that a lot of bands are still touring right now, and they're still from the older scene, and they're still very much active and healthy, and I find that really cool. There's a lot of bands that I really like are still touring and doing stuff to these years, and I just think that's great. Bay Area and beyond, but definitely there's still local bands going that some that like when Hatchet started are they were gone for a while and now they're coming back. Kind of more like you said, like the local bands at that time, the bands I remember
Yeah,
us
like
playing at
bonded
that
by
time.
blood.
Yeah, that's one example. Or even other ones that are more local to the Bay Area and stuff. What's cool is just that people are still playing and stuff, or that maybe they've gone away for a little and come back. So I see healthiness in it. So I find that good.
Sure. Now, when you look at Bay Area bands, whether it be in your generation or even in OG, do you still consider those bands to be, quote, the local guys, for example? Like the Exoduses and the Testament, and do you see what I'm saying here?
Kind of, but maybe it kind of answers your question that when you give me that question, the local guys, I have a whole big chunk of vision of bands in my mind. Like I'm seeing numbers and names of like different things. So it's kind of there's a lot there more than just those guys.
Sure.
Uh, I don't know if I see them as the local guys, no, because they're definitely, they've been around for a long time, and they're obviously the purveyors and the flagship, the guys holding the flags for it.
Well,
And-
the reason I posed that question based in thrash is because I read an interview one time where James Hetfield was recognized in a coffee shop. And he wasn't recognized so much of, hey, you're James Hetfield. It was, don't I know you from somewhere? And he said, yeah, I'm in a local band.
okay,
So if, the guy, I guess if you want to call him that, is saying that he's in a local band, I guess does that mean that everybody else is too still?
I think that was a tongue-in-cheek answer.
It probably was.
Yeah,
It more than likely was because he is that way.
yeah, right. He
you,
totally,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
see that in interviews.
yeah,
But
right,
no. So yeah, that's totally cool because yeah, they're the purveyors. They're
sure.
the 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 standard bearers of the flag of thrash metal.
Sure. And again, there's
So
many from this area that it's hard to really say, even if I was going to say who the local guys are, if I was going to put it in that context, who they are, because I mean, I guess you would have to say Metallica because they're always going to be the number one, no matter what you think in terms of,
Bay Area.
hierarchy or who got big. But there's so many good ones from this area, so many to name that it's really hard to say. And there are a lot of them are still going. You got Testament. We mentioned Violence earlier.
Hmm.
Exits, all big names, and all some of them playing some of the biggest shows of their lives and the
Oh,
biggest tour,
sure.
which is
And
great. So again, healthy, and I think that's great.
yeah, for sure. And shout out to Phil Dimmel, friend of the Metal Forge, playing some of the biggest shows that he's played for a long time with Kerry King right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fuck, I mean, they just play or Slayer just played Louder Than Life, or were supposed to play it or something. I don't know if they actually did. I don't know if they got on the day that was canceled or whatever, but
Oh, right. The second show. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they did Riot Fest because I saw some videos of that, and I thought that came out
yeah, and
pretty
Tom got
amazing.
caught
But
on fire or something.
one of the fireworks came down during Rain and Blood and hit him on the shoulder, and he was like wiping at it. Didn't look like he got caught on fire, but it looked
Oh
like
shit.
it could have happened. So it was,
Dude,
I don't
and
know,
their pyro is like legendary. So I could not
pretty big at that
imagine,
show, man.
same thing
Yeah,
again. We talked about, the Metallica thing. I couldn't
right,
imagine their pyro, especially because he actually did get that shit.
right.
Fuck. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine. Um, so hell yeah, new EP out on M Theory Audio. Check it the fuck out. It slays. We're gonna be debuting a song from it here at the end of the show. We'll get to that in a minute
Awesome.
though. So we're gonna do some derailed questions. These are about you as a person.
Cool.
So
Let's do it.
anything goes. What's the simplest way you have fun?
Smoke a lot of weed and hang out with my dog.
Right on.
Yeah,
With a cat even.
that works too.
For me. Uh, that's cool. I mean, just hang out at home, do the thing. I enjoy just a little fucking 80s shitty comedy. Like
TV shows, all or what?
what's that?
Movie, TV show, anything from that era or what?
Uh, I can go if it's a TV show, I'm in it to win it, and I'm binge watching that whole damn thing. If it's a movie, I can usually stop at the movie
Hmm,
and not have to worry about, spending 6 hours watching a show.
right.
Because I love WKRP in Cincinnati, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
I've
Uh,
I've heard that the
yeah,
name. I'm not sure what it
it's a
is.
low power FM rock radio station based out of Cincinnati in the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
And it's funny shit. It's like sitcom shit, but it's a radio station. So, but I would end up watching like 12 episodes
Oh,
because they're so fucking funny.
right.
If your name was on a product, what would it be? Other than CDs, of course, and music.
Wow. Some form of musical thing, I guess. Guitar picks, something maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have your own signature series of something.
That would make the most sense. Yeah, I've never been asked that question, so I've never actually thought about that. So that's the first thing that comes to mind would be something
So
related with, you know.
hell
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool. I think it would be awesome, like, because you know how we were talking a minute ago about like the Focusrite and just the sheer of everything. You said you mixed bands for a living,
Mhm.
which is totally fucking awesome because unsung heroes right there are the people who, your mixers and your masters, your engineers. Those people really get the fucking job done out there.
Yeah.
For the non musicians who listen to this show, they really do get it done. And I think that would be something really cool to have your own mix pack series. That would
Mm.
be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hell
See that?
yeah. Maybe we could get Glenn Fricker on it.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Oh, dude, he's just hilarious sometimes.
He's good. I like watching his stuff.
Oh yeah. He's very much Sam Kennison today, you know. And I do want to have a rule number 4 shirt because I am a baseball.
There you go.
Do you believe in parallel universe?
I don't not believe in it. Does that
Okay.
make I don't strongly like, yeah, I believe in it, but I can't for certain say that that concept is not
Does exist?
that does or does not exist and that I wouldn't be smart enough to say yes or no it doesn't. So kind of agnostic there. But I could see it being a thing.
For sure. I agree. I I think lucid dreaming is a peek into a parallel universe. I think it's at an intersection point of these universe.
Could be.
It's interesting. Um, um, who is the coolest person you've ever got to mix for?
Um like like the mixing I do for work, you
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And that's a question that I just came up with as I'm looking for another derailed question.
I figured you did because I don't think that would have been on there.
It wouldn't have been
Okay,
on there.
well, not really, and I do live stuff, not really studios.
Studio.
I'm a live engineer. Not because it was cool to mix it, but because I'm a fan of them. I did get to mix Jerry Seinfeld for a couple nights, which is basically just a microphone and his monitor and an opening track and a closing track, but still, I was controlling it. That's cool to do.
I got to mix for Jake the Snake Roberts, and
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, it was the same way, and he totally ribbed the shit out of me on the stage. I was like,
Oh,
"Hey,
okay.
Jake, nice to meet you. I'm going to be doing your sound tonight. Blah blah blah. Anything you need? Yeah, man. Can you give me the old WWF theme music? I guess." I was like, "Yeah, sure, dude. No problem. I can take care of you." His handler comes on, gives the rundown of the show, hit the music. Oh god damn, that fucking music follows me everywhere. Ah, you guy. Totally got me on that one.
Right.
Um, what do you think will be the biggest invention of the next 25 years?
Hmm. The next invention or a continuation of something that's already here?
It the next invention, I guess. But I mean, that's kind of hard to say. I mean, because how do you know if it's not? That would be basically if you had an idea for something, it'd be throwing it out into the ether.
I would, That's a hard one to. I had a second to think about it. Only because I had a second to think about it, I would probably say extending human life somehow.
Interesting. That would very well be, whether it be you're talking like getting into like bicentennial man type stuff where you're like artificial hearts and stuff like that,
I think
right?
eventually, but I think more in the immediate future, I could see more like they find a way to push people's lives to like 130 years on the norm or something like that, in
Wow.
a healthy way or something like that, to where it's, that's not like unheard of, where some people do live that way, but the last after you're 100, you're basically just there. But to
Sure.
actually spend some life somehow, maybe I
Yeah,
don't know.
for
I
sure.
could see that.
And it would be really cool if you could basically extend your like 30s to couple of decades. But I mean, because
Right?
after you're for most people, after they're in their 60s, they're shot.
Yeah.
They're like they've been worked to fucking death. That's the only thing that would suck is if maybe the next biggest invention is where we can all fucking like not have to actually punch a time card.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, jobs are getting more remote and the more technology that comes around, the more there's these odd jobs of needing to, do odd jobs to fill them and make these things a thing now, which were never jobs to begin with. So maybe that, that'll just be our thing. Everybody's taking care of all these pieces of new technology and that'll be all our thing from home. Who knows?
Sure, definitely. And maybe that's where the AI thing needs to go.
Yeah, maybe.
With all these bands that are out there doing fucking AI album covers and AI influence in their music. And yeah, total fucking thumbs down, man. There's a band that I saw that is playing a pretty decent festival.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty decent independent festival that totally just came out and said, "Yeah, the here's a new collection of songs. The album cover's completely AI." And it's just like, and they're headlining this thing, and it's like, holy shit, guys! And
Yeah.
you're not paying artists, or you fucking paying $5 on Fiverr or Chat GPT or what the fuck ever.
Yeah. Hmm.
Fuck that. Total
Not
thumbs.
pestilence, is it?
No, it's not
Okay.
pestilence. No, but they defended it, and
Oh, I saw that.
yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Um, what would be go lavish? What would be your last meal? To total course, appetizer, main course, dessert.
I don't know, man. Maybe some like really, 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 really good Italian food. Like,
That's
like,
awesome.
like, I don't know, man. Maybe like the way the Olive Garden was like the first day it opened or something like that in the early 80s. Like maybe like that kind of taste. And I only say that because, you'd have to go to Italy to probably get something better than that. I don't know. I don't know anything about Italian food, but when I've had really good Italian food, I know that it's amazing and it's usually like somewhat of a course thing. So that's kind of why I go there, I guess. The salad, some kind of really thick, rich pasta with lots of cheeses, some bread, and then
And then you got a meat
some kind
course.
of
Yeah.
dessert or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you, like I said, you got your meat course, whether it be like a veal parm or, chicken parm or
Yeah.
meatballs or something. And real Italian meatballs are like the size of a softball. They're
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like a quarter of one and it's enough.
Yeah. Something like
And I'm
that.
saying
Something
that, and
really
I'm a
hearty.
big dude.
Yeah.
What's that?
Something really hearty like that
Oh,
to really
yeah.
experience it. And I'd be like, yeah, that's a good one to go out on.
Hell yeah. I totally get that. I do have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed below. So please give a like, a share, and a follow. Go do the things and the stuff. Go buy the EP, listen, stream, do it all. Go to the websites, go buy merch, go just
Got the
fucking
CD,
yeah.
the cassette. I can't believe there's cassettes now. That trips me out. But
Dude, that's
Cassettes.
awesome. And it's been about the same time as the vinyl resurgence,
Yeah. And
especially with
vinyl
independent
too.
music,
Just figured I'd
you know.
show it since we're talking about it. So
Oh, yes. Uh
yeah.
totally awesome on the vinyl. I mean, I love that stuff. I don't collect like some people collect because I know you've got all three pieces of media there, and somebody out there is going, I have to have all three of those, and that is fucking killer. And not only that, but they'll also pick up the digital copy,
Sure.
and and that's awesome. But do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody today?
Well, shout out to you, man, for having me on and wanting to interview me. I mean, I guess I can't think of anyone else. Maybe just all the people that, help the rest of the band, of course, that, we all did the album together, or the EP. Our engineer, Nick, who's done most of our albums, who also, helped with this one and, assisted me in doing more of you know, the work recording stuff here kind of on my end. So, but yeah, basically that's about it, man. Anybody that's had a hand in the working with it, Marco, M Theory, Audio, all those guys over there, of course, and all the usuals.
And I do want to shout out uh to All Things Rotten, the art
Ah,
design,
we
or
forget someone.
the cover artist,
Yeah,
which I was
definitely.
looking through the metal archives earlier, and uh he is completely an ABC artist, and I love it because as I was looking through his credits, I noticed that all but Q and Y he has done artwork for in the alphabet. So I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's really cool. So
Interesting. I
like,
I didn't notice that. Hmm.
yeah, I was looking at it, I was like, that's pretty cool. So it's like I wonder, like, he's got to find a Q band and a band with a Y to do, and he'll have every letter of the alphabet that he's done artwork for.
Wow. That's an interesting thing to pick up on. Yeah. Well, hopefully
Yeah,
when
it's
he
probably the ADHD. I mean,
well, hopefully when he marks those two quotas off, he still wants to stick around and do artwork for us. But yeah, he's been doing artwork for us since the second album, since Dawn of the End, and it's all been him. So
fuck
and
yeah.
I have no intention of going anywhere else. I love working with him. I love his art. He's awesome and good stuff. So yeah.
Definitely. And and I love that too. Being with somebody who, whether it be Pentagono with Motorhead, or you get like, somebody like Brian Schroeder, Pusshead,
Yeah.
these people that are, that you constantly see come up. Ed Repka, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
When you notice that, well, that's an All Things Rotten cover, or you know and death metal tends to do that a lot. I've noticed they have the same people doing album covers. It's like
Yeah.
everybody has a style.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. Some of those death metal album covers too are pretty they're pretty intense, like just like the amount of detail in them, you know.
Oh,
It's kind of
sure.
almost like you kind of almost think of it as like the music itself. Like thrash, there's like, there's detail and there's goriness and there's art to it, but like the death metal even is like a little bit more, you know.
Yes. And which some and can be in some places where it's even harder to decipher because you get like so many black and white album covers
Yeah.
with that. One of my favorite album covers is Sacrifice by Motorhead. You talk
Okay.
about detail in that
Yeah.
with album covers. Check that out on vinyl if you ever get the chance, because there is so much detail in it and it's so cool.
I haven't looked at it up close on a vinyl. That'd be something to check out. Yeah. I'll try
Hell
and do
yeah. So my final question of the day, and I always like to get philosophical or conspiracy theorist on our way out just to make people think.
sure.
Uh, Backmasking. Do you believe in the subliminal messagery behind it?
Backmasking? You mean like playing albums in reverse or vinyls in reverse? Is that what you're talking about?
Like where they would put backwards masked vocal tracks in songs, or they would say, drink the blood of the lamb,
Oh,
and "Yum, yum, 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 no," where it does like the thing.
yeah.
Do you believe that's a subliminal message tactic?
Not in the way people think, and if it is done, I think it's done to troll us by the artist. Like I don't think there's anything like legitimately like, what would you call it? Like spiritual or something that could be invoked or make you do something from it. I think if someone does it, they intentionally do it to troll you. It'd be like something the Red Hot Chili Peppers would do, like,
Or Pink
stupid
Floyd?
funny, like like tongue in cheek, but like very black and very dry. Like it would be to troll us, not to actually make you do something.
Sure.
Personally, that's what I
Yeah,
think.
I think that too. Yeah, it's like there's so much other stuff out there that, so much other frontward suggestive advertising,
Sure.
that why would there be a thing, talking backwards, and that, subconsciously that's a thing. I don't necessarily get that. And where you said it was like a troll, I do believe that,
Yeah.
because I know there's some in the wall that's done that way, and it's like
Right.
send care packages to Old Pink at the old folks home. It's like, okay, come on. They're clearly talking about Sid there,
Yeah.
and yeah, so yeah, I think it's definitely just to be a smartass.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
Dude, Jules, thank you so fucking much today. This has been awesome.
Thank
I've
you.
had
Thanks for
a
having me.
conversation with you. On our way out today from the EP, what do you want to play?
Um, I'd say we could go with Concealing Decay. I think that's the next, if you have it, that's the next one that we're actually going to put out for people to hear. So yeah, we can go with that one.
Hell yeah, you heard him. This is Concealing Decay. Yeah. Thank
Thanks,
you,
man.
sir.
Thank you.
Destroying the existence of time.
45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week, located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. to distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.